6 p.m. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. Kashmir Hour was observed all across the country today to express solidarity with the oppressed people of occupied Kashmir. The President and the Prime Minister have reiterated the nation's resolve to support the people of occupied Kashmir in their struggle for right to self-determination. The Senate today unanimously passed a resolution strongly condemning the illegal annexation of occupied Kashmir by India. South Korea says breach of human rights is a serious issue in the Indian-held Kashmir. A top United Nations official has said shutting down all communications is a disproportionate interference with the freedom of expression of people in occupied Kashmir. The United Nations Security Council has expressed concern over the recent clashes around the southern Yemeni port of Aden. And now the news in detail. Charity Hour was observed today to express support to the people of occupied Kashmir, reeling under the course of Indian measures, and to draw the world attention towards the emerging humanitarian tragedy in the held territory. In this connection, sirens were sounded all across the country, and national anthems of Pakistan and Azad Jammu and Kashmir were played from 12 noon to 12:30 hours. Special ceremonies were held at the President's house and Prime Minister's Secretariat to express solidarity with the oppressed people of Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Ministers, MNAs, officials, public servants, students of schools, colleges and universities, and people from various walks of life gathered outside the two executive offices waving both Pakistani and Kashmiri flags. The people all across the country joined in singing the national anthems while vehicles came to a standstill. During the Kashmir Hour, people remained out of their offices, houses, markets and malls and gathered in the nearby streets all over the country. After Jummah prayers, special prayers were offered for the liberation of occupied Kashmir and end to the sufferings of its people. Prime Minister Imran Khan has said the Pakistani nation will stand by the Kashmiri brethren until they secure freedom from the Indian occupation. Addressing the main ceremony in Islamabad today to express solidarity with the Kashmiris, he said, "We share the grief and pain of the people of occupied Kashmir and fully stand by them." The Prime Minister said the message from Pakistan is loud and clear that Pakistani nation will continue the struggle for freedom of occupied Kashmir. Imran Khan warned that India will be given a befitting response if it attempts to launch any misadventure in Azad Jammu and Kashmir. Imran Khan said another campaign will be started soon with the message to lift curfew from occupied Kashmir. The President, Dr. Arif Alvi, has reiterated the nation's resolve of supporting the people of occupied Kashmir in the struggle for right to self-determination. Addressing a ceremony in connection with the Kashmir Hour at the Presidency in Islamabad today, he said Kashmir is not just a piece of land for Pakistan, but it is a relationship of faith and humanity. The President said observing Kashmir Hour today shows Pakistan's commitment to the Kashmir cause. He said Pakistan desires a peaceful resolution of the Kashmir dispute. However, he said Pakistan will respond befittingly to any misadventure by India. The Senate today unanimously passed a resolution strongly condemning the illegal annexation of occupied Kashmir by India, led by Narendra Modi and the RSS gang he represents. It was moved by the leader of the House, Shibli Faraz. The resolution reads that the annexation is an attempt by India to change the demography of occupied Kashmir as part of their racist and fascist agenda. The House urged the government and all the other relevant stakeholders to formulate a coherent national strategy on Kashmir. In connection with the Kashmir Hour, a special ceremony was also held at the Parliament House. It was attended by the Chairman Senate Sadiq Sanjarani, Speaker National Assembly Asad Kassar, and other elected representatives, as well as school students. A ceremony was held at the Foreign Office in Islamabad today to express solidarity with the oppressed Kashmiris. Addressing the ceremony, the Foreign Secretary Sohail Mahmood said Pakistan will continue to highlight the Kashmir issue till the realization of right to self-determination of the people of occupied Kashmir. The Foreign Secretary said the Indian atrocious and illegal steps in the Hill Valley are being strongly condemned at the international level as well. A walk was held to express solidarity with the Kashmiri people at the Pakistan High Commission, New Delhi today. All the diplomats, staff members, families, and children participated in the rally. The children held banners and raised slogans with national zeal and fervor to express solidarity with the Kashmiri people. National anthems and national songs were also played on the occasion. This is Radio Pakistan. The Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi has said the people in occupied Kashmir are faced with shortage of food and medicines due to curfew. The Foreign Minister said the Indian forces barge into houses and are detaining the Kashmiri youth. While talking to the South Korean Foreign Minister, he also informed her about the latest situation in occupied Kashmir. The South Korean Foreign Minister said breach of human rights is a serious issue which needs to be addressed. Meanwhile, the Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi, in his telephonic conversation with his Saudi counterpart, Dr. Ibrahim bin Abdulaziz Al Asaf, said occupied Jammu and Kashmir is under curfew for the last 25 days and all communications have been blocked in the area. The Minister for Kashmir Affairs and Gilgit-Baltistan, Ali Amin Khan Gandapur, says fascist Modi cannot deter the firm resolve of the Kashmiri people for realization of their right to self-determination. In a statement, he said Pakistan will continue to support the innocent people of occupied Kashmir and raise voice for their freedom. The United Nations Special Rapporteur on the promotion and protection of the right to freedom of opinion and expression, David Kay, has said the current situation in occupied Kashmir is really deeply disturbing. David Kay, in an interview with New Delhi-based monthly magazine, The Caravan, said the Indian authorities have repeatedly over the last several years shut down the internet services in occupied Kashmir, particularly around times of protest. He said shutting down of internet in the current situation is really quite draconian. He said shutting down of all communications is a disproportionate interference with the freedom of expression of people in Kashmir. The United States has expressed concern over reports of detentions and restrictions imposed in Indian-occupied Kashmir. Speaking to the media in Washington, the State Department spokesperson Morgan Ortagus said the United States is watching the situation in Jammu and Kashmir closely. The spokesperson said Washington continues to call for calm and restraint, including on rhetoric. Occupied Kashmir has become a big jail and a living hell for its inhabitants as they are facing severe shortage of essential commodities due to continued strict curfew and other restrictions imposed by the Indian government. Residents of the occupied valley are facing acute shortage of edibles, baby food, and life-saving drugs. On the other hand, the occupation authorities continue to impose severe communications blackout by snapping all internet, mobile, and landline services and closing television channels to hide the ground situation from outside world. The United Nations Security Council has expressed concern over the recent clashes around the southern Yemeni port of Aden, where the United Nations recognized government is temporarily based. In a presidential statement, the Council said it is concerned by the recent developments in the south of Yemen, including the violent attempt to take over state institutions. It called on all the involved parties to show restraint and preserve Yemen's territorial integrity. And finally, the weather. Rain, wind, thunderstorm is expected at scattered places in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Punjab, North Baluchistan, Islamabad, and Kashmir, including Sakkar, Larkana, Shahid Benazirabad divisions, and Gilgit-Baltistan during the next 12 hours. Hot and humid weather is expected elsewhere in the country. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.